Game of Thrones is nearly complete with the series finale airing this Sunday. Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of Betting on the Iron Throne, where we'll be looking ahead to episode 6 of the 8th and final season of Game of Thrones. I'm Drew Goldfarb, joined by Taylor Smith. We'll be breaking down the prop bets that should be relevant to this week's Game of Thrones episode. Obviously, if we're talking about betting odds on an upcoming episode and addressing those that have already paid off, we will be getting into spoiler territory. So now that that's covered, Taylor, let's start with what happened in episode 5. Which Lannister did end up dying first?
So Jaime was the favorite to be the first to die. He's kind of the soldier of the three. He was at plus or minus 170. Cersei was at plus 500 and Tyrion plus 700. Cersei and Jaime actually died at the same time. So I guess whichever one you bet on, if it's Jaime or Cersei, that's a winning bet since they technically tied. So Jaime and Cersei together is the answer. I guess those bets cashed if you bet on them.
So who ended up killing Cersei Lannister? How did that play out?
It wound up being Daenerys indirectly. Her dragon basically destroyed all of King's Landing. So Jaime and Cersei died together in the Red Keep, just collapsed on them. Dany was paying out or priced at plus 2,000 last time this bet was available. So Jon Snow was the favorite. Bran, Sansa, Arya were the favorites, but Daenerys at plus 2,000 was a good bet if you wagered on it back then.
Speaking of Daenerys, moving forward, will Daenerys die at the end of the series? What are the odds thing, and what do you believe?
Daenerys dying is now a minus 500. Yes, is a minus 500 favorite. Her survival is plus 300. She took a pretty big heel turn in this most recent episode. It seems to be trending in the direction of her dying. She's kind of become a villain at this point. Not that the show has always punished the villains. That's kind of the whole bit. But I don't mind taking no at plus 300 just because that's where the value is. You're not making any money betting on yes at minus 500, but the safer option is yes. So it's probably just a bet I'd ignore because I think she's going to die.
Sticking with Daenerys, how will she die? What are the betting options that are given here?
So the favorite there is sword or dagger at minus 150. She survives is at plus 150. Dying by axe, way down at plus 800. Hanging plus 800. Suicide plus 1,000. Arrow plus 1,600. Physical force plus 2,000. Poison plus 2,000, and fire is plus 6,600. Fire seems pretty unlikely. She's a Targaryen. She's immune to fire. I guess maybe there's some kind of plot hole they could exploit there, but some kind of beheading wouldn't be shocking. I guess that would be axe at plus 800. This is getting pretty morbid, but if you want to bet on how she dies, I would go either sword or dagger minus 150 or axe at plus 800 just for long shot value.
You can't talk Game of Thrones without getting at least a little more, but I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching this video is expecting that. So last one, we ask it every week, so this is the last opportunity we get to ask it. Now we're finally due a payoff on it. Who will rule Westeros at the end of the series? We saw a big line movement a week ago. I'd imagine that continued this week, correct?
Yeah, Bran, who we didn't even see in the last episode, is now at minus 500 to rule at the end. Sansa's plus 400, Tyrion plus 750, Aegon, aka Jon Snow, plus 800, Daenerys down at plus 1,500, Arya plus 3,000, and Gendry plus 3,000. I was all on the Cersei bandwagon. If you recall, that's obviously not going to happen unless she somehow survived her structure collapsing around her. But I don't really think Bran at plus or minus 500 is a great bet. I don't really see any reason he'd be the ruler at the end. I think Arya at plus 3,000 is interesting. She's kind of been built up as the protagonist to root for. She rode the white horse away at the end of the last episode. Aegon plus 800 is also decent. It seems like he might have to take on Daenerys in the final episode. So I think Jon Snow or Arya plus 800 and plus 3,000 respectively are the best options there.
Taylor Smith, thank you very much. Be sure to check out Taylor's articles on Game of Thrones online now at gamblingsites.org for even more on this season's betting odds. I'm Drew Goldfarb. He's Taylor Smith. Thanks for watching. See you next time.